Hey friends, I wanted to tell you about a great new-ish resource for you. It came out last year, 2022, and it's by a fellow Revelation scholar, David Mathewson. The book is Uncovering the Treasures of the Apocalypse. There you go. And it's for general audiences. Anybody can read it, and I would recommend that you do get it and read it. So let me give you a quick summary here. Basically, David Mathewson, he compares Revelation to a treasure chest. And so he is giving us 5 keys to unlock this treasure chest. And the first key, number 1, is genre. When we understand the genre, we understand what kind of literature it is and how the author intends for us to interpret it. So is it poetry? Is it prophecy? Is it narrative? We understand intuitively that we interpret poetry different than a story. And so when we understand that genre, we are ahead of the game. All right, key number 2 is the historical context. The mysterious world of the book of Revelation. And basically, he's giving us the Roman context. Revelation was written to real churches in a real period of history. And when we understand what was going on then, we can understand how to bring those same theological principles forward in time. Number 3, theological context, which leads right out of the historical context. Matter of fact, that historical context helps us understand the theological context better. This is key number 3, God's secret aims in the book of Revelation, which are actually not so secret when we slow down and use these keys that he is providing. Okay, key number 4 is literary context. Now, the Bible is God's word for us, and it is more than just a book. But we often forget that it is still a book. It's a work of literature. And so when we study it literarily, we often find insights that we would otherwise miss. And so I want to give you an analogy that he uses in the book. I think it's excellent. He says, you wouldn't go on Netflix, find a series to watch, choose an episode in season 3, fast forward through parts of it, and then watch 5 minutes and turn it off. Then try to make sense of it. It wouldn't make any sense. And that's often one of the reasons why Revelation doesn't make any sense to us, because we're picking pieces from here and there. I sometimes use the analogy of a puzzle. We have all these random puzzle pieces and we're jamming them together in the wrong way, and it just turns into a big mess. Okay, so we've got one more key, which is, I'm calling it the symbolic context. He calls it feasts, bowls, beacons, and Beelzebub, another good chapter name. So basically, this is mapping metaphors. He tells you how to identify the metaphors. John often interprets them for us. So he just sort of walks us through that process in this chapter. What do the numbers mean? What do we do with all these crazy seeming symbols? And so he walks us through that in a very, very clear and understandable manner. One other feature that I really like about the book is that every single chapter at the end has a putting it into practice section. And this is basically the application, because we don't want to just learn it for head knowledge, right? We want to be transformed by God's word. And so how do we put these things that we're learning in the book into practice in our lives? So I fully intend to use this next time I teach through Revelation. It very much parallels the lessons that I teach. So I'm looking forward to having this resource available to people. And I would encourage you to get it, read it, and let me know what you think.